morning, everybody. You all look beautiful and handsome. I have to start with thanks because I'm just very, very grateful to be here. Thank you to Keith, Miss Belinda, Miss Betty, Miss Belinda, Miss Adrian, the whole TNBA organizations. Thank you, Coach Boykins, Coach Vicky, just everybody. I am so grateful to be here, and just thank you so much for thinking of me. I'm so grateful. Okay, I said I wouldn't get emotional, I'm getting emotional. So I want to start off with the question tonight. And the question I want to start off with is, have you ever stepped on the approach knowing that you had the ability to make the shot? So you step on the approach knowing that you could make the shot, but not believing that you could. Have you ever stepped on the approach knowing that you could make the shot, but not believing that you could? I want you to keep that in the top of your mind as I'm talking this evening. And first I want to start off with kind of telling you a little bit more about me. I never thought that I'd be here. I never thought that I'd be on this stage. I'm sorry. Okay, I never thought I'd be here. I was the kid that started bowling at the age of 5 recreationally, which a lot of us probably started that way, right? We came from a bowling family. Then we're like, hey, we like this. I was the kid that bowling was my number 2 sport as a kid. Basketball was my number 1 sport. I thought I was gonna have a career in basketball. I bowled when I didn't have basketball events going on. And as we all know, we have our SMART accounts, right? We got scholarship money in our SMART accounts. So that was always my incentive to bowl when I could. I was the kid that went to high school in Texas. And as we all know, Texas is a competitive state when it comes to high school bowling. My high school didn't have a bowling team. So I did not bowl in college. I did not bowl in high school. I bowled youth league when I could, I bowled youth travel league when I could, and I bowled tournaments when I could. I was also that kid that college coaches started talking to me when I was 15. Never thought. I didn't even know. I was that kid that didn't know that college bowling existed. I didn't know. I didn't know college bowling existed. Moving along, I was that kid that ended up bowling Division I at Texas Southern University. When coaches started talking to me, I talked to my mom. I said, Mom, I didn't know that they had college bowling. I was like, what do you think? She was like, it is completely your path. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have this long-standing career in basketball like I think, so I think I'm gonna go for it. And that's what I ended up doing. Went to Texas Southern, it was amazing, loved Houston, loved it. And right when I graduated, I had someone approach me, a friend. They were like, Jasmine, have you ever thought about running a bowling center? I said, no. I was like, managing. I was like, I'm just about to graduate. What do I never thought about it. They were like, well, Prairie View A&M, they're opening up a bowling center. Do you want to be the manager of it? I was like, I have no experience. I was like, I'm getting my bachelor's in business management. I'm like, what do you think? They said, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Do you guys know I got that job? I opened up the bowling center on Prairie View's campus fresh out of college. I'm 21 years old. Around that same time, I had a former Texas Southern Tiger. We didn't bowl together. She's older than me. She approached me and she was like, Jasmine, have you ever thought about running tournaments? I said, not really. I was like, what do you have in mind? She's like, I want you to come be my assistant. This is an opportunity with TNBA. I said, what's TNBA? She told me what it was. She told me what the opportunity was. And it was assistant director for the Southern Regional Tournament, which is basically, if you don't know, an annual handicap tournament for all of the Southern states within the TNBA organization. I said, sure. She handed me another opportunity. So I'm just gonna pause there because I wanna go back to my initial question. Have you ever stepped on the approach knowing that you could make the shot, but not believing that you could? I hope you kind of see a trend with my journey and how I had confidence the entire way. when things were put in front of me. So it's no different, right, than when you're on the lanes, your coach believes in you, your team believes in you, you're like, coach, I'm gonna go get this strike, right? You have to have confidence in yourself to go get that strike. Your teammates and your coach, they can have confidence in you all day long. They believe that you're gonna execute, right? And some can argue that, yeah, sometimes it takes a village to believe in you and have confidence in you, and that can get you to the next step. And I wholeheartedly believe that, 1,000%. However, that's only gonna get you so far. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to believe in yourself if you want to make it to the finish line. So, confidence was instilled in me at a very, very young age, and I just kind of kept that through. And the biggest thing I've learned in my journey, I've done a lot in a short period of time. So to give you some context, I was at Texas Southern from 2010 through 2014. I am 33 years old. I have a loving husband. I have 3 beautiful daughters. So I've done a lot in a short time. Oh, and I forgot to mention when I was at Prairie View, they paid for my master's as well when I was working on campus and running the bowling center. So I was able to get my master's as soon as I graduated with my bachelor's. So the one thing that the seed I really want to plant with you all tonight is that people are watching you. Confidence goes a long way. It really does, because all of the bowling opportunities that I have experienced, it was because someone presented them to me. Because they saw, I see this young lady, I see something, I see that she can do this or she can do that, when I didn't even believe that it's something that was even possible, if that makes sense. So that's a seed I just kind of want to plant with you all, and that is on and off the lanes. Consistency as well. Consistency is big. Now, all of you ladies are destined for success, and you want to know how I know? Because you're in college bowling. The grit that we go through, right? The practices, the travel, the having to balance school and bowling, all of these things that we have to do. We have to maintain these great grades. We have to execute on and off the lanes. We have to condition ourselves. All of these things that we have to do. That goes back to confidence, mindset, believing in yourself, right? And consistency. Consistency. So as much as you have confidence, or you should have confidence when you're on the lanes, also exhibit that when you're off the lanes as well, because people are watching you and it goes a long way. So that's enough about me. Look, standing right here where I am now, College Bowling Network, I'll tell you a little bit about it and how it got started. It was just an idea, guys. It was an idea. So, right, I bowled in college. I did some things after college. I stopped kind of bowling everything. I stopped bowling because I had my family. So I was busy working, being a mom, being a wife, being all the things. And I was like, you know what? It's time for me to kind of get back in the swing of things with bowling. What do you want to do, Jasmine? I'm like, I don't know. So I was like, what value can I give back? Like, I'm the type of person, I'm really, really big about impact. So I'm always thinking, how can I help someone? How can I give back? How can I make an impact? And I was like, you know what? Let me go see what college bowling is up to. Let me go see what they're doing. So I follow all of your pages. I have been following all your pages, but it was from my personal page. I was like, technology sure has evolved. They're streaming, they're posting. Y'all's flyers look nice. The stuff y'all be posting, we're competing this weekend, all the different things you post. I was like, okay. I was like, where are the other gaps? I was like, media and exposure has always been a gap. Why? A lot of people argue it's a smaller sport, it's a these are things we've heard, right? It's a non-revenue generating. We all want more NIL money. NIL, that wasn't even around when I was in school. It was not around. You guys deserve more NIL money. You guys deserve more visibility, more exposure for being amazing athletes. We have amazing coaches, just in this room. Imagine outside of the room. We need more visibility, more exposure, more media, right? There are some coaches I've talked to, they went from being a club team to NCAA. That's a big deal. They're doing it in the other sports and they're talking about it on the mainstream, but they're not talking about it when it comes to bowling. And I said, that is it right there. I said, I'm gonna give back and pour into the bowling community. And that is exactly what I set out to do. I had a few conversations with a few people that I know, and I was like, I have this idea, what do you think? They were like, I think it's good, like go for it, we need it. I said, okay. So guys, we launched this season. We're very new, I'm a one-woman show. So when you see things out and about, it's just me. And I enjoy doing it, I love doing it because you guys deserve it, you truly do. And in the years to come, I'll give you an example. I'm a huge basketball fan, huge basketball. So if you look at 10 years ago, what women's basketball looked like, college or professional, and you look at it now, that is what College Bowling Network will be. It may take 5 years, it may take 10, it may take 20, I don't know. But it's going to get there, and I'm going to ensure that it does. We're going to blow up what we're doing because what we're doing is important. What you guys are doing, the amount of work and effort and just everything that you're putting in, it just deserves to be seen as much as the other sports. And I'm fighting the fight with the bigger networks to make sure that that happens. I'm in conversations now with some of the bigger networks to even just get our regular season content for you guys. I'm working behind the scenes. So next season, we should see a change with a few things. So that is what pretty much is going on with College Bowling Network. And really, you know, I just kind of hope my story inspires you. Like I said, I never thought I'd be here. I was just sitting where you are about 10 or 15 years ago. I was sitting in that seat. And just all of the things I've been able to accomplish and do, it's been a great journey. And a lot of people saw things in me when I didn't even see it in myself. So for that, I'm very grateful. Again, I'm grateful for being here. And in everything you do, you know, the sky is the limit. You know, don't cut yourself short. It really is the limit. I can attest to that. I've done so much, so much. And you guys can do the same as well. I'm gonna go to the TNBA kind of, I don't know if is it a slogan? Sportsmanship, fellowship, and friendship, and anything that you do is so true. You know, always be a good sportsman, always have good sportsmanship, right? Always have good friendship and always have good fellowship. So that's pretty much all that I have tonight. Thank you guys so much. I apologize for getting emotional, but it means so much for me to be here, so thank you.